Makore.
Hey, how are you, Robert?
Great. What city are you originally from?
You said you
Originally, or where do I live now?
Originally.
so
Originally, I'm from Tel Aviv.
Which part? Parts of
I, I grew up in the center of Tel Aviv, like in Rabin Square, if you heard.
I go there. I've been there 100 times. I go there 2
Nice.
months.
And where are you located now?
Medellin, Colombia.
Oh, Medellin, nice. This is a virtual background or the real one?
My house.
Oh, nice.
I have 100 animals. I'm in the middle of the city. How long have you been in Florida?
I moved to Florida about 8 years ago.
Where do you live?
I live in Hallandale Beach. I was doing real estate back in Tel Aviv, and about in 2015, I decided to move to Florida and do the same thing, but with the big sharks.
Yeah. How's it going?
I love it. I'm doing well.
Houses, commercial, residential?
I do mostly residential. I used to do multifamilies for a few years, and now I do a shifting into more of pre-constructions.
Oh, condos, pre-construction?
For condo pre-construction in great areas in the very early stage of the sale. So usually my clients are like friends and family, first buyers.
You have a lot of Israeli clients?
So not only I have a lot of Israeli clients, when I just moved here, I opened a Facebook group. I call it Israelis in Miami in Hebrew. And now we just got over 40,000 people. Mostly are Israelis who actually live and work in Miami. And the Israelis like to invest. So this is a great, great crowd.
Excellent. So I've done deals and I lived in South Beach for 15 years.
Oh, wow.
I did the Satai, the Continuum, the Portofino. You know those buildings?
Yeah, of course. I don't live in South Beach, but it's like half an hour away, and I go there at least once a week.
Did you ever sell any?
Yes.
And then I was in Brickell. We did an investment in Brickell when Brickell was, and I'm in Midtown.
Oh, now Brickell is exploding. It's like crazy, amazing. They sell at $2,000 per square foot for the new.
I know, and now I'm in Midtown.
Amazing. So hi, Robert, again, and please tell us a little bit about yourself for those who still don't know you.
Sure, and I'd rather talk about other things, but I can go very quickly. So I'm from a nice Jewish boy from Nashville, Tennessee, Robert Shemin, and basically I worked in restaurants. I was thrown out of high school. I had dyslexia, not doing very well, and when I was 29 years old, I met a gentleman. I was selling insurance, never sold any. Was also working in restaurants pretty much, going nowhere. I thought to make a lot of money, you had to have money. My parents told me the rich people are rich. We're not. You have to suffer and work. When I was 29 years old, I met a gentleman named Ray Binion. Like me, he never finished high school, no education, no background, started with very little money. And when I met him, he had about 121 houses paid for, renting. He also bought, fixed, and sold. He took 6 months vacation a year. And by the way, most people in business or real estate, will do nothing, make nothing. Everybody's different. Every deal's different. But, this guy worked hard, which most people won't, stuck with it. The first year he told me part-time, he did 3 deals and made no money. He didn't know how to do it, made mistakes. And then he said after the third deal, I said, well, I would have quit if I'm spending a year working on these houses. He said, I bought them wrong and I have the system. But he said, after the third one, I finally figured out the system, how to analyze the numbers. And then after that, I'll never forget what he said. It's like making donuts or laundry. Wash, rinse, repeat. Do the same thing over and over and over again. Now, he liked rental property. So I'm like, how can I buy rental property? I have no money, no credit. Even though I'm American, my parents told me never borrow money. And everybody's different. Every deal's different. He taught me how to find money partners. Do a business plan, find a good deal below market. It's all about the numbers. Where are you going to buy it? Where are you going to fix it? What it would sell for. So if you have to sell it, always have plan A, B, and C. And I was going to rent them. There'd be cash flow. And I went and talked to a bunch of people, which most people won't do. And one of the people I talked to, I would ask for their opinion. This is very, I want to start teaching people. We never ask for money. We ask for their opinion. Hey, Yal. Hey, Bob. Hey, Shlomo. You're a friend, a smart guy, a smart lady.
What do you think about a specific deal? That's what you're asking?
Yes. I have this deal under contract. I'd love your opinion. Do you need money, or what do you bother me? Because when you ask your friends for money, they're like, no, run, Iron Dome, warning, danger. And he taught me, go line up a lot of people that are smart, successful, show them a deal and ask their opinion, because I had no money or credit. So he said, whatever you don't have, find people that have it. So one of the guys, everybody said, wow, it's a great deal, but I don't do real estate. Oh, that's a great deal, but my opinion is good for you, but I don't like that. I do other things with my money. And I showed it to enough people, which most people won't do. And a guy said, wow, that's a great deal. I don't have the time. I don't know how to find it. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the mentoring. I don't have the education or the connections. You obviously have time and energy. How about I bring the money, you bring the deal, we split 50-50. And at that time, if he would have said 80-20, I would have said, great. 80 for me, 20, 80 for him, 20 for me. And I do most of my deals with money partners. With the first year that I was in real estate, I was worried, thinking, analyzing. I did nothing. And after the first year, I started doing very well. And at one time, I had hundreds of scattered site properties I've been involved with. I've probably been involved with thousands of deals, residential, commercial. And we've trained many, many people to do it. I love education. I believe you always have to educate yourself. That's how I got started. My main business was always rentals. Then I learned how to buy, fix, and sell. Then I went to seminars and mentoring and learned how to wholesale. Then I started doing commercial properties, hotels, international. And I'm talking to you from Medellin, Colombia. I go to Israel every 2 or 3 months, where we have many Israelis we train that are buying very well in the United States using our systems.
Why did you decide to live there in Colombia, not in the US, with all the opportunities here?
So I still do. I do business in the U.S. By the way, great to make your money in the U.S. and live here. But first of all, I'm in the U.S. all the time. I still consider home. My official address is in Miami, but I travel around. I'm free. And what's really interesting, we were doing virtual real estate for 12 years, 15 years. Then when the pandemic hit, everybody started doing virtual business. So I believe you can live where you want to live and invest where you want to invest. For instance, when I was in Nashville is one of the hottest markets in the country, like Miami. Prices went up. Very challenging to find a great deal. Very challenging to find cash flow. They always exist. So when I was in Nashville, my mentor said, if it's hard here, go somewhere else. So I developed a team in Memphis. The systems work in Memphis. I developed a team in Atlanta, a team in Indianapolis, a team in Las Vegas, a team in whatever, while I was living in Nashville. So to me, business is business, and I can live anywhere. I've been in about 80 countries, and I choose Medellin, Colombia. Beautiful people, beautiful weather.
Nice, nice. What do you think about the market in South Florida?
Okay, and I get this question all the time. As you know, I think this week I'm going to do a TED Talk, interviewed for Entrepreneur Magazine. I'm on CNN and Fox a lot. Great question. And you're not going to like the answer. There is no market in South Florida.
What do you mean by that?
Now, why do I say that? There is no real estate market. They're called micro markets. So let me explain. A brand new condo development in Brickell that goes for $2,000 a foot moves differently than a little trailer in West Palm Beach on the other side of the interstate. The 52-year-old ranch house for X near Hialeah moves a lot different than the mansion in Pinecrest or West Palm Beach. So which market? Residential A, B, C? Well, there's no affordable housing left in South Florida. I'll agree with that. Prices are crazy. I mean, it's crazy. So there is no market. It's a micro market. How's the U.S. market? How's the Tennessee market?
Let's be more focused, because most of the investors here, and especially the Israelis who we are gonna share this video with, they're investing in the residential, either multifamily or pre-construction in South Florida.
So high-end pre-construction in Brickell and Midtown. I mean, man, it seems to be on fire. I mean, I cannot believe that it hasn't slowed down. I mean, interest rates are up, mortgage costs have almost doubled. These are just examples. Prices are high, they're not low. And why? It's supply and demand. Everybody's coming to Miami. It's an international city. Everybody loves it. Everyone's coming from New York and California or the high tax states. So the demand hasn't slowed down. South America, every time there's trouble in Colombia or Venezuela, Argentina, boom, you got all these South Americans buying as a safety deposit account in Miami, not just for investment, just so they don't lose their money. So I can't predict markets. I'm wrong all the time. We do deals. And here's my question. How many of y'all think there's one or two or three deals somewhere in South Florida? Always, right?
Yes.
Not easy to find. You got to look for them. My head mentor, Chad, just did 12 amazing deals way below market in Melbourne, which, is part of South Florida. We look for highly motivated sellers. Not easy to find in Miami Beach, but they're there. Much easier in other cities and states, in my opinion, depending on where you're going. So we do deals, highly motivated sellers. And by the way, the supply and demand. Yes, they're building a lot, but Miami is a very unique place. Fort Lauderdale, Hollandale, the whole area. I love it. And you can't build a lot. It's a limited supply, especially
Now
near the beach.
you lead me to another question. Since you talk about buying below market, which obviously as a real estate broker, I always look for below market. What is the secret? What is your secret to find those deals?
So here is a secret. So what's a motivated seller? By the way, every deal we do has to be win-win. By the way, here's the good news. 99.6% of people selling in South Florida are not motivated. They're like, my condo is worth $3 million and I want 3.2 million or
Exactly.
top price. Got it?
Right.
Same in Tel Aviv. Okay. It's a very tough market. Now, we look for triple motivation. So we'll go on our software, other softwares, and it's public record. We'll look for someone who A, is an out-of-state owner. B, is behind on their property taxes or their mortgage payments or their homeowners, public record. Number 3, the place is empty. We can find softwares that will tell us that. Maybe they have another financial issue, divorce, estate sale, probate. So we don't look just for one motivation. We look for 3. Now, this is work. Most people will not do it. Then you got to text them and email them and call them, and follow the laws and the rules. And it's a big numbers game. You're not just going to make one phone call. I get a lot of my deals from wholesalers. We have 57 ways to find deals. My favorite are wholesalers. I'm a wholesaler that spent a lot of time marketing these motivated sellers, marking off a little bit. Number 2, I call a lot of for rent ads, looking for older, tired landlords and landladies. If it's for rent, it's empty. Number 3, foreclosures in Florida and around the country are going way up. Have you noticed? People can't pay the loans, they're overextended, the pandemic.
Even though, sorry to interrupt, but even though there is so much equity these days in people's houses, people still go to foreclosures? How come?
Oh, absolutely. The foreclosure rates are going way up. And in Florida, I just talked to one of the heads of the banks. It takes about a year, and it could take longer, short, every deal's different, to actually execute the foreclosure. So we get a pre-foreclosure, but it's a lot of work. But foreclosures are definitely on the rise. I can't give you the exact numbers, but they're way up, even in Florida. But financial mismanagement, it's that nothing's changed. People, if they make 200,000, they spend 300,000. If business is bad, divorce, estate sale, probate, foreclosures have always been around. There's been less of them the last few years. Now there's more of them. Because of the economy, the interest rates, and repercussions from the pandemic.
So you
find the motivated sellers?
Find the motivated sellers, and what is your role in that? Like, can you help investors to find, or you expect them to find themselves?
So we do teaching. I love to teach people. I do it. We use See Do Teach. So when we do a class or whatever we're doing, we actually show people how to do it. Then we actually do it. We'll actually call on motivated sellers while we're there. People flip out because I don't like theory. And then people go, what about money? How do I get money? We'll actually call on money, on funds that will give you, every deal is different. Every lender is different. Even for non-U.S. citizens, the funds, thousands of them in Florida, will give investors, as you know, anywhere from 50 to 75, 80%, depending on the deal and the situation. Every deal is different. Depending on their requirements. but there's a lot of funds that will give you almost most of the money. Now you only got to go find 20, 30, 35%. So depending on the deal.
So you teach people how to find below market deals and then how to find the finance?
Absolutely. And we actually do teach. So we show them how to do it at the classes. We do it with them. And then after they do it in our community, a lot of them become mentors and teaching. That, as you know, that's the best way to learn is to teach.
Yes. Okay.
So we have this really nice community that's very active doing deals, and we help each other, collaboration. So somebody might find a deal, but doesn't have maybe the credit or the money. And then they partner with somebody else, and everybody has to run their own business. They're responsible. Every deal is different. And, when I find a deal I can't do and I want to sell it, or I need a contractor, I go to our community, even though I'm the founder of it and leader of it. And there, everybody has a good attitude. And what's really interesting, we have a lot of Israelis.
Okay, so this leads me to the next question. So I understand that in October 22nd to be accurate, you're coming to Miami and you're gonna do a big event, right? So can you tell us a little bit more about this event?
Well, it's funny, it's got bigger. It kind of sold out. We had to get a bigger venue. And again, we're going to spend pretty much most of the day showing you what we do. I answered your questions, of course. It's for beginners, intermediate, and advanced investors. But what I like about what we do is first hour or two, we give you how to do it, how to find the deals. It's called FAST, how to find opportunities. We'll probably go over 8 or 9 or 10, 11 ways to find motivated sellers. We have about 11 ways to finance deals. We'll cover most of those, teach you, but then we do it right there in front of you, with you. We'll make you do it, because the only way to learn is to do. And I even challenge some of the intermediate advanced investors, come out, you'll learn something. We teach you all the ways to make money, an introduction of how to make money in real estate. Also, we talk about bad deals, mistakes. One of my favorite words in Hebrew is tachlis,
since you mentioned it, what is the biggest mistake or 2 mistakes that people do when buying real estate?
So the first one I made, and by the way, I have a book called The 75 Mistakes All Investors Make and How to Avoid Them. I think we give people that for free. I made every one of those mistakes. Number one is I didn't get started. Scared, fear. I can't do that, lack of knowledge. Every week or month or year, if you want to start a business, you're not starting, you're losing lots of money. But on a more practical level, real estate's just numbers. So we're going to go deep in the numbers. I made the mistake of got excited, emotional. We're not consumers. I'm not living there. Oh, it's a beautiful house. I want to buy it. Great to live in it. Take the kids and the wife and the family. But an investor, I have 4 questions. What can I buy it for? I'm going to buy it for $300,000. What do I have to fix it for? Most of the properties we buy need repairs. And by the way, that's the biggest mistake people make. They don't have a good contractor. It's hard. They don't have a good property manager. It's hard. And the contractor says, I'll fix it for 60 grand. And it ends up being 130. Ever happen to you in Miami? I'll have it done in 6 weeks. It's 6 months. So we have a system to watch the contractors. The 2 biggest risks are your repair numbers wrong, and what the property is worth after you repair it is wrong.
Yes.
So we have whole systems to verify. And if you're going to rent, which I like to do, what's the rent? What are the expenses? Probably 30 to 50% of the rent is going to go to expenses. Every deal is different. That's just a general equation that some investors use. The rent's $4,000 and my mortgage is $3,500 and I'm going to make $500. No, you're not. Taxes, insurance, repairs, maintenance, vacancy, it's empty. You got to know your numbers. That's the biggest mistake. Separating emotion from investing.
Yes.
How am I going to make money? Go ahead.
What do you tell those clients who said, okay, let's wait. Now the market is so high. Let's wait until the market crashes.
Great idea. So every day since 1994, every week pretty much, 2 to 10 people, family, realtors, maybe some experts say, Robert, this is the absolute worst time to buy real estate. The market's too low. Nobody's buying. The market's too high. The banks, the government, the pandemic, the ship that crashed in the Suez. Listen, you got to know what you're doing. We don't do markets. By the way, did anybody predict the pandemic? 6 years ago, I'm not going to buy because I know in 3 years they're going to lock the airports down and close Israel, and you have to wear a mask and you can't go anywhere. By the way, a lot of real estate went up during the pandemic, which made no sense to me.
Yeah.
We did, my group, a lot of them did more deals virtually during the pandemic than we did whatever. So again, we do deals. Now, we're not speculators. Do I believe the market should, in many micro markets in Miami and America, go down a little bit? Absolutely. But it's not yet. It's starting to slow down. And we're going to give you ways to look at that. Contract to closings. Right now in Nashville, which has been very hot, we just did a survey of the emails. We're like scientists. You know, we do our own thing. We'll teach you how to do it. You can't rely on this, but we have our own systems. Here they go. Number one, we just got 57 emails from realtors, and 48 of them had price reduced buyer incentives. Closings are backing out. So that's in a micro market, not the whole market. So we can give you tools that it's going down. So what am I doing? I'm buying better right now because I do believe in certain micro markets, it would be very easy for the price to go down 10, 20%. Would you agree? Not all of them. Could go down more. We don't know. So you got to buy it right. So we're being much more careful because right now the market is high. It's not low, and it could keep going up, but it might come down. We're prepared for that. Last thing, we always have plan A, B, and C. Big mistake investors made. I made it in the past. I'm going to buy this house or condo. I'm going to fix it, sell it, make 18%, 20%, whatever your number is, as an example. And all of a sudden, your repairs go up, the market comes down, the banks increase interest rates, and you can't sell it. And the last crash in Miami, to be really talkless, I had friends that killed themselves, and no joke. They had $10, $20 million of real estate. They were speculating, buying high to guess the market. It went down 20, 30, 40%. They couldn't pay their bills, and they literally killed themselves. On every deal, we have plan A. What if the market goes down? I can't sell it. I made a mistake. Okay, I'm going to rent it. Well, here's the rent. Here's all the costs. I can't rent it. I won't make money. I'll be upside down. I'm not buying it. Plan A, B, C. You know, I'll sell it for less, not make as much money on every deal. Easy to get in. How do you get out? But I'm a long-term landlord. And if you're buying it for 10, 20 years, what do you think the market will do in 20 years? What has it done in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem?
Be crazy. Very high.
Yeah. And just
in the long term, I believe that the market will be up. In the middle, in the short term, I can never know what the fluctuation is.
I don't
That's
expect
my opinion.
it to go up, but it almost always does.
Yes.
Over time.
Over time.
Correct?
Yeah.
And I wish all of you would have bought every property in Miami and Tel Aviv and Jerusalem and Nashville 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 7 years ago, 6 years ago. What was everybody saying? Oh, it's the worst time. It's the bad time. I'm not sure. Correct? And then 10, 20 years, because my mentor said, if you're a long-term investor, and this is what he said, and you make a mistake, which I have, I bought it right. I screwed up. Time will fix it. But most people can't hang in there long enough. And I'm talking 3, 5, 10, 15 years. We're long-term investors. There's no get rich quick. You got to know what you're doing. So we don't do markets, we do deals. And if you're buying long-term, you know, the chances of it going up. And I've been shocked. I'm shocked in Miami. I'm shocked in South Florida. I've been there 20 years and it keeps going up.
Amazing, amazing. Because it's a beautiful place.
Very unique. Yeah. And it's an international market. It's a very unique place. We're from Italy, Israel, South America. Exactly. You know, people in Tel Aviv are going, I can't wait to move to Nashville or Toledo, Ohio. But Miami, yes.
Okay, Robert, to sum everything up, we have this event in October 22nd. Why should my crowd come?
So first of all, if you're doing real estate investing, landlord fixing, buying, selling, please come. We're going to give you advanced tools. I'm bringing my top coaches there, top education that will probably blow your mind. New ways to find deals, new ways to find money, new ways to manage. We're going to show real deals. 2, bring your questions. I come early and stay late. We'll answer all your questions. The toughest questions, bring them. We're going to talk about disasters, what not to do. The networking's great. We're going to, a lot of our investors will be there. We're going to look for deals, look for money. Please come. It's going to be a very unique experience. We don't do this a lot. We do it a couple times a year. I'm a full-time investor, or that's what I do. And I'm bringing my mentor. He's done over 2,000 deals. He'll be there. There'll be more of the community there. So the networking will be great. We'll have some fun. We'll start out a little slow, beginners, welcome. Then we'll get intermediate and do some advanced stuff. And you're going to be blown away. We're going to look for deals right there live and
Amazing.
money.
Beautiful, Robert. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in the event.
As we say in Nashville, Tennessee, litarot, y'all, right? See you soon. Erev Tov, Laila Tov, and the New Year's coming here very quickly. So it's very exciting. I want to wish everybody a very happy, healthy Lashana Tova, Happy New Year. All the best, much success. And I always say, don't wait to buy real estate correctly, and then wait.
And thank you, Robert. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Toda, toda.
Bye-bye.